morning.
Good morning.
Having a little trouble yesterday. I couldn't make it.
Oh,
My Zoom broke down. So
these Zoom updates, my goodness. Okay, welcome back to those who joined yesterday, and welcome to those who are joining for the first time. I'm Rose Markey, and this is the Micro Learning Project. Throughout the series, we hope to provide you with thought-provoking ideas and value-added skills that you can use professionally and personally. This is episode 2, where I'll be sharing concepts from Brene Brown's Dare to Lead curriculum. I'm going to stop my video so that you can focus on what I'm presenting. And you should see some slides in front of you, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Last time, or yesterday, I presented the 6 myths of vulnerability and understanding shame. And today I want to share some of the research around empathy, sympathy, compassion, and blame. I've got less than 15 minutes now, so we're going to go fast. And as much as I'd like to add personal and professional examples, well, that's what the Dare to Lead program is all about. This week of the Micro Learning Project is an introduction for some, and for some of you, it's a refresher. So yesterday I talked about shame and used an arena as a metaphor. I talked about the seats in the arena and the idea that anytime we're about to be brave, shame shows up. Shame is a season ticket holder in the arena and is constantly trying to convince you and I that we don't belong here and question who we are. But there are also these seats in the arena that are held for the support section. The support section looks like empathy and compassion. Empathy creates a hostile work environment for shame. If you were to put shame in a petri dish and douse it with empathy, it would no longer exist. Poof, it's gone. Empathy is like Dawn dish soap to grease. Empathy is like a fire extinguisher to fire. It's like placing a glass over a flame and watching it extinguish. Okay, I think you get the picture. So let's talk about what empathy is and what it isn't, how it sounds and how it shows up. We know that empathy looks different for everyone because we have different needs. And empathy is responding to the emotion, not the experience or the exact issue. So I'd like to show you this video. If you've seen it before, a refresher doesn't hurt. What this is an animated video of a talk that Brene Brown was giving, and then some creative people just animated it to give it a little more different character. So let's take a look. It's about 3 minutes.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you can climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with "at least." And we do it all the time, because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
All right, good video, I think. So sometimes we don't know or aren't sure how to show up or even what to say. So let me see if I can help you. Just want you in the privacy of your own workspace to raise your hand if you've ever felt the following emotions. If you've ever felt mad, raise your hand. If you've ever felt sad, glad, anger, hurt, overwhelmed, disappointed, happy, joy, frustrated. There, you're all empathy certified. Again, we're learning how to respond to the emotion, not the experience or the exact issue. So here's something I think is important is that the empathy skill requires emotional literacy. Emotional literacy is important and foundational for developing these empathy skills. So take a look at this list of emotions. And as you read through them, I want you to make a mental note of those emotions that are hard for you to witness, especially at work. We'll stay focused here in the work environment. And think about how they make you feel when you see that emotion, or what you think when you see it, or what's the first thing you want to do when you experience the emotion yourself. So here's your homework. Those emotions that are hard for you to witness, go and find more examples of these emotions playing out. And when you see it, ask that person to share their experience. If you're unsure what to say, just say more. Sit with them, get comfortable, keep practicing, practice, so you can really show up and serve someone rather than tapping out because you are uncomfortable. Here's another phenomenon that happens. They're called empathy misses. And these happen when I forget where I end and you begin, or when I tend to carry the emotion for you. So I want to review each of these. And I'm going to tee these up as these are friends. So sympathy versus empathy are those friends that respond with, I feel sorry for you, rather than, I get it, I feel with you, I've been there, or me too. Just like that video we just watched spelled out. The gasp and awe. This is the friend that feels shame for you. The friend who confirms how horrified you should be, often followed by an awkward silence. The mighty fall. This is the friend that needs you to be the pillar of worthiness and is almost disappointed in your imperfections. The block and tackle. This is the friend that's so uncomfortable with vulnerability that they scold you. How did you let this happen? What were you thinking? Or looking for someone to blame. Like, who did that? Let's go kick their butt. The boots and shovel. This is the friend who's all about making it better and refuses to acknowledge that you may have made a bad choice. They might respond with, you're exaggerating. It wasn't that bad. You rock. There's the friend of, if you think that's bad, that's the friend who confuses connection with the opportunity to one-up you. They reply with things like, that's nothing. Listen to what happened to me one time. And then last but not least, the fixer. This is the friend who offers advice or suggestions. It starts with, what you need to do is, we've all experienced these empathic misses and we're all capable of being these friends. Something else I want to cover in our short time together is this idea of compassion. First, I want to talk about self-compassion. Here's a basic way to look at this. When you're really being tough on yourself, ask yourself, am I talking to myself the way I would talk to someone I love? And then what about extending compassion to others? So there's this concept in the Dare to Lead curriculum and research called circling back. This gives us the opportunity to revisit a conversation or an interaction after we've had time to fully process it. And it might sound like, I need to think about this. Can we circle back in an hour? Or we might need to circle back if we need more time, or I need to gain clarification. We might need to circle back to make amends for something we did, or if we haven't really been fully listening. I found myself circling back with people when I've sent off an email out of whatever emotion triggered me or had me hooked, when I want to go back and clean it up. Also want to talk a little bit about blame. Blame is the discharge of one's discomfort and pain, and it has an adverse relationship with accountability. When pain and hurt get discharged as blame, it can be corrosive in relationships, and it can prevent empathy from happening. And I want to share some barriers to reckoning with emotion, or some things that happen when we get into this blaming mode and we actually start to offload our hurt, which is an unproductive way of managing or discharging emotion when we're trying to avoid feeling it. So chandeliering is the idea of where the hurt is packed so far down that it can't possibly resurface, but it does. I see this happening when I might make an innocent comment, or maybe I might be poking at somebody just to trigger them. And whatever it is that they've been avoiding and packing down so far, all of a sudden just bursts, almost like a volcano. The idea of bouncing hurt is using anger, blame, and or avoidance when getting too close to emotion. Numbing, this is the idea of I can take the edge off emotional pain with fill in the blank. It can be alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, money, work, affairs, religion, chaos, etc. The list goes on. Stockpiling is I keep it packed down until the wisest part of me, my body, decides that enough is enough. And the message is this: you shut down the stockpiling or I will shut you down. High-centered, that's the idea of I can't move forward, I can't move backward, I'm just stuck. And to me, that feels like quicksand. The last one is the umbrage. And this is based off of a term that comes from the Harry Potter series, actually. And that's where you make everything look so sweet and cute and put together, when in all actuality, it's quite the opposite. So here's some strategies for reckoning with emotion. The first one is tactile breathing, or some people call it box breathing or 4-box breathing. It's where when somebody comes to you emotionally charged, or even when you feel yourself getting emotionally charged, where you stop and take a moment and just inhale for 4 seconds or 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, then hold for 4 counts. The other way is responding with calm. If somebody comes to me really wrapped around the axle about something and very emotionally charged or hooked, how I respond to them can either help de-escalate that person or the situation, or can keep them fired up. We'll probably talk about that later in the following session. We've covered a lot here. It was fast, it's a lot to take in, and I appreciate you for taking in what you can. In our next session, we're going to learn about the differences between armored leadership and daring leadership. And here's a teaser. It's not fear that's getting in our way, it's armor. So first, thank you for your time today. Your feedback is really important to us, so please take a moment to provide us with feedback. You can either use the QR code that you see to the right of your screen, or you can use the link that you see in the chat feature. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes if you need anything from me. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thanks for doing this, Rose. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Elsa. You too.
Hope.
Good job, Rose. It was really helpful, really great information.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. That was really, really impressive, and I really feel it will help a lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Kathleen. Thanks.
Hi, Linda. I just saw your note in the chat and I wanted to let you know that our recordings should be available soon. We're going to work to get those put on our website. That is one of the benefits of us recording them.
Okay, thank you.